Hey, I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. If not, do understand and get your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. Let's say it again, my loves. Your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. If you are new to my channel, my name is Dina Bryant. I do these amazing, inspirational videos, if I may say so myself, okay? Just so we can shift our focus, shift our mindset, receive the things that we truly, truly desire and manifest, what we say we want. Because the truth of the matter is, we are manifesting each and every day. But the question becomes, do we like what's showing up in our lives? If we do not like it, therefore we must do something different. Because to expect something different to come in our lives and we are doing the same exact thing, honey, that would be insanity. Okay. All right. So, gratitude, change your attitude. Now, I wanted to touch upon this, about giving your family a pass. Okay. Oftentimes, we have been brought up in homes where, as though, certain things we would just accept and tolerate. And we would say, oh, because that's my mother, or oh, that's my grandmother, that's my father, I have to tolerate and accept it. The truth of the matter is, you do not have to tolerate and accept disrespect, okay? And this is another thing, this is another key point. If you disrespect yourself and if you don't have boundaries, you're going to allow other people to disrespect you because you already don't treat yourself with the utmost respect. So therefore, somebody come into your life, they'll say whatever, doing whatever, and you will often say, oh, because this is my mother, this is my father, and I have to accept it and I have to tolerate it. No, you don't. And another thing you have to understand and get is this. Although you have not been taught about boundaries, you need to, and maybe you came across this video because of that, you need to start incorporating boundaries in your life. Because boundaries, it let people know exactly what I will accept and tolerate and what is a no-go, And if you keep on drawing a line every time somebody, say for instance, somebody, you on the phone with probably your mama, right? And every time you on the phone with your mama, maybe she bring up some topics from back in the day that you really don't care to discuss. It's like a touchy subject for you, right? And you may tell her, like, mom, when you talk about that, like, I don't care to talk about that, right? And then she'll say something to you like, girl, please, and she'll just keep on talking about the topic, right? And when you get off the phone with her, you feel very, very bad, right? Because it brings up old memories or whatever it is like that. And you just don't like it. And so you set up, a boundaries with you and your mama. And you know what? I say a lot is about culture. And even a culture, it can stop us from doing, or not it stops us, we allow it to stop us because growing up you may have heard, well, that's still your mama. Although she call you bees and she disrespect you and whatever it is, that's still your mama. And you may feel like, well, you know what? I've been programmed and conditioned to believe, she's still my mama, so I got to accept it. You are not doing anyone any favors by tolerating, accepting disrespect, whether it's your mama, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, your grandmama, your father, it does not matter. And you are only enabling the situation even more. You see, I remember one day I was in the kitchen and this is download instantly came to me, right? And one of the things I started feeling bad about a decision that I had made with my daughter, okay, and with my son, right? Like if you can't listen to the rules of the house, you're gonna have to go. And I remember I made the decision, and afterwards, I spoke to, both of my children, like, over and over and over again. But a lot have to do with me because I would accept certain things, or I wouldn't speak up. I would let certain things just slide, right? And I remember I was in the kitchen one day and I started thinking, I was like, the universe ain't, when we do something, okay, when we go against the laws of this universe, there's a consequence for it, okay? And by you, and it's another thing, by you always stepping in because you don't want people to get, a taste of their own medicine, or you don't want them to go through, something that you think that they're not capable of facing, which they are capable of facing, but you're like, oh well, I don't want them to go through this, whatever it is like that. Oftentimes we do it with our children. By you always stepping in, you're not helping. Okay, you're not helping the situation at all. And oftentimes you get a backlash from the universe, from source, okay? Because it's like, mind your business. And another thing, stop allowing people to talk to you and disrespect you all types of ways. Well, they can't do nothing. They can't do it without your permission. You have to co-sign on it. If somebody keep calling you out, calling you bees, and saying you calling you all types of names, and you know how that make you feel, and you just say, oh well, this is my friend, or oh, that's my mama, but you know how that makes you feel deep down inside. Why do you tolerate it? Why do you accept it? Why do you accept it? And so what I come to realize is that sometimes people need to be put on block. Okay? Sometimes people need to be put on block. If every time there's an issue, and this is another thing, because sometimes we may, try to reconcile, right, with the other person. If that person do not want to reconcile, please, honey, leave that person alone. Please, leave them alone. And you may have every intent, every right intent in your heart. But if they don't want to be bothered, let me share some examples. Say, for instance, you have created boundaries, right? You have boundaries in your life. And this is something else you need to know. If other people don't have boundaries in their lives, and you have boundaries, those people, they won't respect your boundaries because they don't even have boundaries. So what that means is, if they are allowing people to treat them any old type of way, then chances are when they get into your life, they're gonna feel like they can treat you any old type of way. Why? Because if they don't have boundaries, and if they don't believe and feel that they are worthy of respect and kindness and love, then why would they feel like you deserve kindness and love and respect? It doesn't make sense. Okay, so that's the first thing. When you start setting up boundaries, if that person don't have boundaries in their lives, if that person don't have boundaries in their lives, okay, then don't expect them to respect your boundaries. That's one, okay? Two is, if you created the boundary, because I know sometimes what people tend to do, right? Like say, and I witnessed this in my own life. You know, once I start setting boundaries up, because I start understanding, like, wait, hold up, I don't like the way my life is going. I don't like the way, I let people get certain paths, because they have a title, right? Because they my family member, or because, they play a certain role in my life, or whatever it is like that. I don't like certain things, right? And so what I started doing was I started setting up boundaries. And so when somebody will break the boundary, what would tend to happen, and I noticed this with two people. What I noticed what happened was one person, they would say, well, you can't keep coming in and out of my life and all this other stuff, right? Because I set boundaries up. Meaning, because I set boundaries up and you broke the boundaries, and a consequence for you breaking the boundaries is I'm going to give you some time to yourself. And so they felt, I guess, entitled, like, you're going to give me time to myself. Like, who the heck you think you are, right? So then they reverse it. Oh, well, if you're going to give me time to myself, how about you just stop talking to me altogether? And that's when you have to make a decision and a choice. That's when you have to make a decision and a choice. Do I give up my boundaries? And do I give up my boundaries and allow this person to treat me and do whatever it is, okay? If I don't treat myself like this, if I don't talk to myself like that, then why the hell would I give up my boundaries? And so I remember hearing Nipsey Hussle say this. He says, it's either you're going to choose you over the world, or you're going to choose the world over you. Another person, I remember, whenever me and her would talk on the phone and stuff like that, and this person was saying some stuff, and I didn't agree with what they were saying, and they are more entitled, to their own opinion and stuff like that. They don't have to agree with me. But one of the things that I noticed was whenever certain things will occur, right? Say for instance, this person come to my house banging on my door, and I done told the person several times, don't come to my house banging on my door. Now, the person don't do it anymore, but I'm just using this as an example, right? And then a person continuously do that, right? And now is something where, as though, all right, don't knock on the door. Don't even come upstairs. You could just stay downstairs, right? So in life, you have to make a choice. Is this person worth me giving up my boundaries? No one in your life should be worth you giving up your boundaries, because your boundaries is letting people know exactly what it is that you will tolerate, what it is that you will accept, okay? And that's what your boundaries are. So if you keep on being wish-washy, okay, like, all right, well, this person, they treat me, I allow them to treat me like crap, okay, and I set boundaries up so they won't treat me like crap, because I really don't care for, how they treat me. And then, in fact, and this is another thing what I come to realize, if you don't treat yourself like crap, you're not allowing nobody else to do it. You're not allowing no one else to do it. It wouldn't even be a discussion. It will not even be a discussion. I remember I had this passenger. Oh my goodness, he was so lovely. I had this passenger, I picked him up. Oh my goodness, I really didn't want him to get out of the car. Not no creepy stuff like that, but like the conversation, it was so good. And I remember we got on the topic about family. And he made a comment, and he was like, Just because they your family, that don't mean that they get to treat you. That don't mean that you have to put up with that, right? He just was talking. And so one of the things I had made a comment, I said, yeah, but sometimes you may hear that you're not going to have no good luck. And in other words, what he said was, he said, well, by you believing in, you're not going to have any good luck. And look how sick this sounds. This sounds so sick. And the reason it sounds sick is because when you start doing the work on yourself, you start understanding that don't even make sense. I was really, like, I really was under a spell. Because you start saying, like, God damn it, why would I not have any good luck? Because I stood up for myself. Like, and it goes back to, we have to think. We have to think, because a lot of times we have been doing things just on autopilot for so long that we don't even think, we don't even use our common sense. If the first law is to love God, okay, love yourself, okay, and if you are allowing people to say anything, do anything, treat you any old type of way, okay, first of all, that's a violation. All right? And it's so many people that experience anxiety and depression because they have allowed their family members to treat them, to make comments that they don't like, but you agree with it and you accept it and you laugh it off, but deep down inside you don't like it. And you so goddamn afraid to step up and say something about it because you have been programmed and conditioned, oh, if you say something, if you talk back, you're not going to have any good luck. If you do this, the blessings that you once used to receive, you won't receive those blessings any longer. That is a form of manipulation. That is a form of manipulation. And as long as you are living in that prison, okay, yes, it's a prison. As long as you are living in that prison, whereas though you like, well, I can't say this and I can't do that because if I do, I ain't gonna have no good luck. Well, my love, the way it appears to be going in your life now, seems like you ain't having no good luck. So if we keep doing the same exact thing, we only could expect the same exact results to come into our lives. I remember it was once upon a time where as though, whoo, honey, I had to go to a psychologist, because I was so concerned and felt like I had to tolerate things that I did not want to tolerate. And the reason why I would do it was because, oh, well, if I don't do it, I'm not going to have no good luck. And so I would go to a psychologist to get prescription just so I can tolerate certain things, certain people. And I remember I had this download. And this was before my spiritual awakening. I remember, because I would be crying. And that's why I say it doesn't matter how much you cry. It doesn't matter how much you pray. It doesn't matter how much you beg. It doesn't matter how much you say you sick and tired, but keep on doing the same exact thing. Let me tell you something. None of those things matters. What matters is what you allow and what you tolerate. And when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you put an end to it, and you speak up for yourself, and you create those healthy boundaries, that's when things will change. but not before then. And I remember one day I had this download, and I was going to this to the psychologist. And I remember talking to her, and the previous psychologist I went to, and this was because at that time I was experiencing a little anxiety. And I remember this one psychologist I went to, the first one, and it was a job that I was working on. And, some people may say, what I do at one place, that's just that place. I could assure you, you just don't do it one place. You do it the way you do one thing. I could assure you that's how you do all things. And I remember the psychologist said to me, he said, actually it was I'm trying to think, not a psychologist, just like your primary care physician. And I remember, and he prescribed me some pills. And I remember he was saying, because at that time I was working at a hardware store. And he said to me, because I was like, oh, I might have to take these pills. And he said to me, he said, you'll be surprised, everybody probably in that store is on these pills. And like when you hear something, at first you like, like it don't make sense. Like everybody is on these pills, whatever. But then later on, someone recommended this psychologist, and I started going to this psychologist. And I remember I had this download, and it was like, why do I have to take medicine just to feel normal, or just to cope? Like I seen a issue with that within myself. Now you do what works for you, but I seen the issue with that within myself, because I felt like if certain things are showing up in my life, then perhaps they are showing up for a reason. But I continued to take the pills. And then I remember I started taking True Calm. True Calm is herbs, is in like a veggie capsule. It's for anxiety and things of that nature. And I remember I went to the herbalist and I started taking True Calm. But let me tell you something. And then I started also eating different. But everything is based upon how you love yourself. It doesn't matter, what food or how different, or, you're doing plant-based, if you're allowing people to talk to you like garbage. You could take all the medication, but if you still allowing this person to treat you a certain type of way, you got to get down to the cause, the root of the issue. Not treating symptoms, but the root of the issue. What is the root of the issue? Because if you don't get down to that, nothing in your life is ever going to change. And that all comes from awareness. From you observing yourself. From you, going back to your childhood. Well, how did I grow up? What was accepted? What was talked about? Sometimes in certain households, you may have been taught that, your mother could never have done anything wrong because she's your mother. And so you accept it. And every time, although it's like, oh, but, certain things my mother do, I don't like it. But then you have that programming going on like, but that's your mother. She can't do no wrong. And so you accept it, but it doesn't feel good to you. It's like a part of you that just feels like, I've been programmed to believe this, but it just don't feel right to me. It don't feel good to me. I don't like when she talk to me this way. I don't like when she say, certain things or whatever. I don't like when she go and tell my business to other people and stuff like that after I confided in her and told her not to tell nobody, and she still go and tell everybody my business. But you also have to take some of the blame too, because if you know how your mama is, and you know that your mama tells your business, then why you keep telling your mama your business? If you know your father never keeps his word, then why do you get upset when you invite him somewhere and he's never on time? In fact, he don't even show up. Why do you get upset? You need to see people for what they do and not keep listening to what they say, or keep feeding yourself lies because you want to believe, or you are romanticizing, or you want to see something other than what they are showing you. And when you constantly do that, guess what? Guess who you hurt? You hurt yourself. You hurt yourself. Because if you would have listened and took what that person had done in the past, okay? And I'm not saying people can't change, because they can change, but they have to want to change. And it's not for you to keep on doing the same exact thing and saying, well, you know what? Well, they're going to change. What are they showing you right now? Because what they're showing you right now is that's what you go off of. Not the possibility of them changing. Not the potential that they have to change. None of that. No. What are they showing you right now? And that's what you need to go off of. Okay. So now that we got all of that out the way, gratitude. Today is day 7. All right. Gratitude is going to change your attitude. Okay. Mental adjustment. You need a mental adjustment. Okay. This is it. This is what's going to do it for you. Okay. I tell you guys each and every day. Okay. Write in our gratitude journal, day 7. All right. You could list one thing what you grateful for. I like to say you could do 10, okay, or you could do a little higher, right? It all depends. But there's many things in your life right now that you should be grateful for, and you may not even look at it like that. Why would I be grateful for that? Because that thing that you currently have right now, it was once upon a time that you wished for it. It was once upon a time that you hoped for it. It was once upon a time that you probably prayed for it. Okay? Or in some cases begged for it. Okay? And so that's why we write our gratitude list. We write our gratitude list because, first of all, it raises your vibration. Okay, that's one. And then 2, what you focus on grows. So if you focusing on all the stuff that you currently have in your life right now, more stuff should come into your life. Okay. And the same as that concept. If you focusing on what you don't have, and then you will continuously see what you don't have. So we want to focus on what we currently have and be grateful for it. Okay. So let's go. All right, family. So I hope you guys wrote out your gratitude journals. Okay, today is day 7. Do understand and get, the more you are grateful, the more things could come into your life that you truly desire. Okay. And with that being said, I'm finna take a nap. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Keep rocking out. Keep believing in yourself. Do understand you have what it takes. Okay. You can change your life, your world, your existence at any given time by making a choice, by making a decision. I want better for me. And you don't even have to have it all figured out. You could just make that choice. I want better for my life. I'm going to start working on X, Y, and Z, whatever that X, Y, and Z is. Okay. And as you take one step forward, okay, you will get more downloads on how you can continuously move forward. Okay. But when you get those hunches, when the universe is telling you, whatever you believe in, telling you, do this, do that, your intuition, higher self, do this. Make sure you listen. Okay. Make sure you listen. Until next time, I love you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.